Welcome to Super Bowl week.
Yeah,
on the weekly beat. It is the big one.
It's the biggest game of the year. Here we go.
Bar none. It's a spectacle. It has become an absolute spectacle, and we are in for a good one. Yeah, and we'll get there. But as we get started, we want to remind you can follow us on Facebook at The Weekly Beat. You can follow us on Twitter at The Weekly Beat BR. You can follow us personally on Twitter at Spenser Hunt.
At Musso Matthew.
Of course. Get the reverse name.
Yeah,
there.
well, people take your usernames, and it's just really aggravating.
Yeah, I can't believe there's more than
that's what I thought too.
Well. Okay, so let's get right to it. This whole show is going to be nothing but Super Bowl because we've got a lot to talk about and a lot of analysis to get to. But let's just say what's going on. The big game this Sunday, 5:30 Central Time, the New England Patriots, surprise, surprise, versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Who haven't been there since 2004 when they played.
That would be the New England Patriots, as a matter of fact. It's very interesting because if the Patriots win this game, it'll be their third in 4 years, and it will also be their second straight, which happened exactly the last time when these two teams played each other at Super Bowl LII.
I'll take you one further. It is a complete replica of what they did in 2001. They beat an NFC West team, and then an NFC South team, and then the Eagles. If that happens again, they will have beaten an NFC West team in the Seattle Seahawks, South team in the Panthers, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. So it'll be exactly. And also, it gets even weirder. The last time they beat the Eagles, the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator left for jobs, which is what's happening. Which is what's happening right now too.
It is eerie. It is eerie how this game is matching up with the Super Bowl 39, of course. A couple of things that I think are just very interesting. One of them is the Philadelphia Eagles are the only team in the NFC East that have yet to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they are trying to break that, that shameful record almost this time around. Players with Super Bowl experience. Now, this is very interesting to me because the New England Patriots have 32 players on the rosters that have Super Bowl experience. Not surprising.
Nope.
The Philadelphia Eagles only have 6.
A couple of them from New England.
That's absolutely right. And we'll get to that in just a few moments. And so when you think Super Bowl experience players, you think those guys have got to have a big advantage, right?
You would think so.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
Teams that are ahead in that category are 22-22 in Super Bowl history. Even. Dead even. 500 wins and losses. 50%. Both ways. Isn't that interesting? The rest of the Super Bowls, they had an even amount of players. But there you go, 22-22. So that experience may not speak to a victory like you may think.
I mean, you have to look at a number of different things as to why. I mean, each team is here for a reason. And you knew one team was going to be here. You had your when Carson Wentz was there, you said, okay, Philly, they're going. But, he got injured. You said, they're not going. And then, here they are. So, Nick Foles has just been so steady, so steady in the playoffs. And, the first game they weren't letting him really do his thing very much. Second game, man, he slung the ball all over the yard. And we talked about that last week. I mean, no one saw that outcome coming against the Vikings.
Well, no. And the thing is that Nick Foles, sure, he obviously got the big numbers against the Vikings week before. But if you combine both playoff games that he's played in, he's completed the ball 77% of the time. He's thrown for almost 600 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. From who was your backup quarterback, that is a big deal.
I mean, it is. But so there you go then. So that leads us in perfectly to one thing we were going to talk about is when you have the Eagles right now matching up with New England.
Yes.
They match up well in stats. Looking at them here, they match up very well. Both of them are top 5 defense. Both of them are top 5 offense. They match up great. My question though is, what's the bigger matchup? Which matchup is more key in this game for Philadelphia to win? Is it going to be their offense versus New England's defense, or their defense versus New England's offense? Which unit has to come up bigger for Philadelphia to hoist the Lombardi Trophy at the end of Sunday night?
I'll put it to you this way. When you look at the season as a whole, the Patriots defense, 29th in the league in total yards. 29th. They're top 5 in postseason, of course. but 29th in the league defensively, which is not great.
No.
This is the first team out of the 8 Super Bowls now that Brady and Belichick have been under. This is the first time that the team that they've faced is in the top 5, both in offense and defense across the league. So that's saying something. Mm-hmm. To answer your question, for me, it's going to have to be the defense, because you had a Jaguars team that was ranked at the very top of the league in defense, and they did very well against Tom Brady for 3 quarters, and then they couldn't stop the Patriots offense. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. If anybody can stop Tom Brady in the 4th quarter this season, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. And if they're going to win this football game, their defense is going to have to be the ones that win it.
I disagree.
Really?
I do. I disagree. I think I 100% understand where you're coming from, and you're right. However, I just don't believe in the postseason you are going to stop Tom Brady for 4 quarters. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So their offense, Nick Foles and their offense, they're going to have to be able to match. They're going to have to make plays. And like you said, they can do it against this New England defense. They're 29th in total yards, and you know they're top 5 in postseason. That's fine. That's great. But it's still that same defense. They've played 2 postseason games. They've had good games. It's still that defense. The question is, you're going to be able to move the ball. Can you finish when you get in the red zone? And if Nick Foles can make the plays and match them, I think it can happen, because you're just not going to.
I think you're
11 comebacks in the postseason.
I don't think you stop.
Shut him
I don't
down
think you stop Tom
entirely.
Brady. I think you're right. I don't think you stop Tom Brady. I think you have to do enough to contain him. The over/under for this game is 48 points, which I think they go way over. I think that they go over 48, almost beyond a shadow of a doubt. Both of these teams score 28.6 points a game, almost exactly match each other. This is a defense that has led up, despite giving up the 29th ranked defense in terms of yards. Yards, they're 5th in points allowed per game.
They are.
So I think that is a very telling sign that despite the fact that they give up yards on a defensive standpoint, they don't give up points.
And that's what I'm saying. When you get in the red zone, are you going to be able to finish? Because that's been what they've been doing the entire year. They've given up those yards. They've bent, but they have not broken. Except for a few games. Week 1 they were not good against Kansas City. But
right.
I mean,
that was week 1.
It was week 1, a long time ago. But you want a better example? I forgot what week it was. I think it was week. I don't remember the exact week. I know it was their 13th game.
Okay.
Because it was a Monday night game against the Dolphins.
Yes.
The week before they played the Steelers.
I remember that.
And the Dolphins took them.
Housed them.
Absolutely. They got in the red zone. They finished. That's what Philadelphia is going to have to do.
Well, let me ask you a question. What team in the league had the best red zone percentage for touchdowns this season?
The best red zone? I think it was the Chargers.
It would be the Philadelphia Eagles.
It was the Philadelphia.
They were first in the league red zone scoring with 65.5% of the time.
Wait, you're talking about their offense?
Their offense.
Okay, I thought you were talking about their defense.
Yes.
Sorry.
Offense.
No.
Well, because you're talking about the offense.
Yeah, no, they're scoring. Okay, I just misunderstood.
No, it's totally fine. And no team has finished more often in the red zone than the Philadelphia Eagles, which I think is very, very interesting. There's a lot of little mini matchups here. We have defenses on both sides. This is something, the Patriots, with the absence of Carson Wentz, have had to step up defensively, and they've done very well with that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, in the playoffs, the results speak for themselves. The Patriots have only had 1 turnover since Week 15. That has to change, I think, if they want to beat the Philadelphia.
No, it 100% does, because, you've got, Jay Ajayi is going to run the ball, and he's going to run the ball well.
They have a great running back tandem.
They do. And they hang on to the ball.
Yeah.
And you have, but I think, I don't really think you're going to have any fumbles, but I think the opportunity for interceptions is there against Nick Foles. He has been playing so well. I hate to say this because it's a great story.
Yeah.
But you just kind of feel like, when the lights come on, when those lights come on, the Super Bowl lights, when they come on and you're staring across the field at a Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia defense in your first Super Bowl ever, and you were really never supposed to get there. It does that happen? That's why I'm saying it's on him. I think it's more on the offense because he's the one who's going to have to match Brady because Brady is going to make the plays. It might not happen early. It might happen late. Maybe it doesn't happen at all.
There are a couple points I have to counteract with that. One of them is, we're talking about turnover differential. The Eagles are they are fourth in the league at plus 11. And the Patriots are 11th in the league at plus 6. So they're both in the top half. The Eagles had a very good season turnover-wise.
They did.
Secondly, there are 2 quarterbacks in the history of the league that have thrown for at least 25 touchdowns with only 2 interceptions or less. Those 2 quarterbacks, Tom Brady in 2016 and Nick Foles in 2013.
Yeah, he had it was like 21-2, wasn't it?
It was 28.
28-2.
Yeah. No. So he is a very accurate quarterback, and I understand. He is not Carson Wentz, and I understand.
No, it's not just that. It's this.
It's the game. I know. I understand it's the game. I understand it's the game, and they are not. And that defense is not facing Case Keenum.
They're not.
I am well aware.
But I don't know. Don't say that because I don't want to take away from what they did defensively.
All right.
In the NFC Championship game. I mean, it was astonishing. It was great. You have, and look, like you said,
I'm telling
look, you right here, the where's the total offense? I had it. 395 for the Eagles, 391 for the Patriots.
Right, and that's in the postseason, and they've gone tit for tat postseason wise. And this matchup is so even. If Nick Foles wins this game, he will be only the 4th quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl when he was not a starting quarterback in Week 1, and when he started as a backup.
You know who else is another one of those quarterbacks?
You know the last time that happened? Tom Brady, 2001. The similarities in this game are unreal.
Look, a lesson for everybody. Those who do not study history, you're doomed to repeat it. So pay attention.
That's true.
This is a history lesson courtesy of the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles.
So I want to ask because we're going to come back to the Super Bowl, obviously.
Right.
But before we move on to our next event, I got to ask, what is, you're watching the game, what is your key matchup player-wise? Who do you see that has to have a good game? Or which matchup do you see that really will tilt the scale heavily in one way or the other?
Well, I mean, in order for Philadelphia to win, Nick Foles has to have a good game.
Yeah.
That is the matchup. It's Nick Foles versus the Patriots defense. I also want to see how New England does in the secondary against these receivers for Philadelphia because they have the big tight end. And good.
No two teams have better tight ends.
Alshon Jeffrey's good, and how are they going to match up against the New England secondary of Malcolm Butler, Patrick Chung, Devin McCourty, and Stephon Gilmore? So how do they match up against guys like Jeffrey, Ertz, and then they have a little speedy receiver, and I cannot remember his name.
We all know who you're talking about. Everyone knows who you're talking about, but we know he's fast.
Yeah,
I understand the matchup.
I can't remember his name. So that's going to be it. So that's going to help Foles. If they don't match up well, if New England doesn't match up well, he'll have open targets. And Nick Foles, people can say all they want about him. The guy's a professional in the NFL. He can hit open receivers. So
we're going to get back to this game because there's a lot to talk about, and there's more analysis for us to do. But I do want to pause there because it's time for what I think is my personal favorite segment that we're going to have here on the Weekly Beat every week, and that is Matt Musso's Doofus of the Week.
Yeah. So this can be another lesson for people here.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of keep a little Super Bowl theme.
Okay. No, I mean, that makes sense.
There's this New England Patriots fan.
Okay.
Who he did something I hate when fans do. And I get why he did it. I mean, the arrogance they have. They earned it, right?
Yeah.
This guy has right here on his it's a tattoo of all the Super Bowls that they've won. The Roman numerals of the Super Bowl that they were in.
Of course.
And he has prematurely gotten 52 tattooed on his back. Don't do that.
Why? I don't understand.
Doofus, what are you doing?
This happens all
and it
the time.
Never Name one time that's worked out. Name one time you've seen this. They put in the news, oh, this guy got the tattoo. And then name one time you've seen a follow-up story on that and say, hey, he was right.
That guy that got a tattoo?
Yeah, he's a winner.
It was a good idea.
Yeah, he also bought a lottery ticket after that too. No, see, that doesn't happen. You know why? Because it's like a jinx. Don't do that. Now, I will say this. He's lucky. He's a Patriots fan. So even if they don't win, he can just wait till next year and just get another I added behind it. And then he could set this up again and it'll be fine. But anyway, it's not just him. It's anybody who's ever done that. I think there was a Cowboys fan that did it last year.
There was a Cleveland Browns fan.
Well,
that guy's just delusional.
I could do an entire show about Cleveland Browns people. But if you get premature tattoos celebrating a championship you haven't even played yet, you're a doofus, and you don't need to do that. And if you claim national championships that you don't have, you're UCF.
Okay,
why?
Okay, there was no reason. There was no need for the UCF jab there. There was no need.
They're morons.
There was just no need. Okay, now that was a good one this week. I don't appreciate the UCF jab, but with the Patriots returning to the Super Bowl, this is Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's 8th appearance together.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots' 10th overall.
Mm-hmm.
It's just absolutely adding on to the legacy of the Patriots and of those two people in general. Bill Belichick, and is he the greatest coach of all time? Tom Brady, greatest quarterback of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But it brings up a very interesting debate, and that question is: who has been more important to the New England Patriots dynasty, Bill Belichick or Tom Brady?
Yeah.
And I think the best way to settle this is to go stride for stride.
I agree. And, Bill Barnwell, ESPN staff writer, they're New England Patriots' favorite people in the world are people at ESPN. He wrote a great article about this.
Yeah.
And it's a debate that has been going on probably since about 2004, and it will continue to go on for a very long time.
Where do you initially, as we get into it, where do you lean?
Do you want me to just...
Bill Belichick, okay. Tom Brady.
I lean towards Tom Brady because...
And that's where you're wrong. Because it's Bill Belichick. I don't see any... Okay.
So, well, go ahead.
I will start by saying that under Bill Belichick, the Patriots have had 15 consecutive 10-win seasons.
That's awesome.
That's outrageous.
That's great.
That includes 2008 when Tom Brady did not play.
Ryan Mallett.
The previous record, by the way, was 8.
Yeah.
15.
Who held that?
Not important, because it doesn't matter, because the Patriots have had 15 10-win seasons in a row. It's unreal.
That's right.
Bill Belichick he's won 7 Super Bowls, 5 of them as the head coach of New England, 2 of them as a defensive coordinator for the Giants under Bill Parcells.
Tomorrow night, the 2 Bills. It's going to be so good.
There you go.
Everybody watch that. It's going to be awesome.
He has been in 11 Super Bowls total, which, by the way, in case you were curious, is 21% of all the Super Bowls of all time. 34% since he got his first one. That is a third of the Super Bowls. A third.
Bill is the greatest coach of all time.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
But he needs a quarterback. He needs a quarterback. He showed that in Cleveland. He didn't until he got Vinny Testaverde. It wasn't until then that his teams actually had success. For him to be successful, he needs that quarterback. He found that in Brady. He took a chance on drafting Brady and then putting him in, but he had enough. Well, I take it back. He didn't take a chance on putting him in. He had to put him in because
Bledsoe was hurt, right? Right,
Bledsoe was hurt, but Brady gets hurt in the AFC Championship game that year, and Bledsoe has to come back in. But he still had enough, thought to say, okay, wait, no, this guy's our better chance to win. And Brady gets the shot in the Super Bowl over the veteran. And from then on, it's history. People can say, Brady, one of my favorite arguments, and I think it's relevant to this debate, is Brady's a system quarterback. This gets me fired up. Cut the crap. Just cut the crap. No, he's not. He's not a system quarterback.
Well, and the reason why he's not is because the system's changed.
The system has changed. And you realize you could say anyone is a system quarterback?
That's true. If you're with the same team for an extended period of time.
Until Peyton Manning left and went to Denver, you could have argued under Tony Dungy, that's the system. It's Dungy's system that brought them to Super Bowls and won. Tom Brady, and it's in here. I just gotta find it. I didn't have time to put this out and freaking highlight in it.
Well, let me tell you, it's
Brady because, and this I found this really interesting. We brought up the 2008 thing.
Yeah,
about his win percentage with them, 684. That was good. But another reason I think it's Brady. It has nothing to do with numbers. It has nothing to do with anything else like that. When he gets on the field, you're just not going to beat him because he's not going to let you do it. He's got that will to win, and he infects the rest of the team with it. And that's something you just can't coach. He just has that. And it's not the plays being called. It's his execution that he can execute with his team, who has never really been a star-studded roster outside of Randy Moss.
I mean, that was pretty star-studded. 2007 was
a
star-studded team.
But right now, look, you have outside of Gronk, because I mean Gronk is his best target. But outside of that, you have a undrafted free agent in Danny Amendola, who, by the way, kind of took over the playoff game.
Yeah,
in the fourth quarter with Tom Brady,
if you will.
Brady has the ability to make everybody around him better. And to me, that is why. It has nothing to really do with the numbers. It's his ability on the field. Belichick is a great coach, and he knows how to get people going and whatnot.
Well,
he's not out there.
Let me interrupt you because we're on stride for stride. So I'm going to make a couple points. And the reality is you've brought up good points. Sure, the Browns. But the same points that you brought up, I'm going to turn them right around against you.
Go ahead.
Because sure, yes, he needed a quarterback at Cleveland. I agree with you. But he also took a Cleveland team to 11-5, and he is the last coach to have a Cleveland Brown playoff win in 1994.
But who – and Vinny Testaverde was his quarterback that year.
I'm aware.
Which is what I said. Until he got him, he didn't have success.
No, but he turned it around. He was improving. He took a team that was 3-13, and he made them 7-9. You know, he was making improvements. He needed the fit. No one's going to win without a good quarterback. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that Bill Belichick has. Let me put it to you this way: Tom Brady. You're talking about the star-studded teams. You're talking about the system that has changed. I understand that. Let me put it to you this way: 4 times the New England Patriots have led the league in total offense. Since Brady's been there. How many of those years did they win a Super Bowl? That would be none of them. That would be 0 of the years. That would be none of them. Because the only time that the Patriots have won the Super Bowl is when they had a team that had a defense that was decent or better.
Okay, I mean that is true. Right here,
I am in no way arguing that Tom Brady is not the greatest quarterback of all time.
I mean,
and it pains me to say it, but it's true.
It's very true.
It's true. I completely agree with that. With that being said, the question is, who is more important to the Patriots dynasty? And I truly believe if you put any other head coach in that position, and if it's not Bill Belichick, you're not doing this. Period.
Well, no, but you can do the same. You can say the same thing with Tom Brady. If you give Bill another quarterback, he's not doing this.
Okay, but
So it's that part is both of them together. You can't separate that because if you separate them, neither of them are going to have the same success that they've had. It's just not going to happen.
2008,
they're not going to win 5 Super Bowls in one place.
2008, when Tom Brady was out with his injury, the team went 11-5.
Yeah,
they're the only team to ever go 11-5 to not make the playoffs.
Yes, they are.
So you can't say, "Oh, they don't make the playoffs without Brady."
Well, no,
because that doesn't matter. Yes, Tom Brady has had 4 Super Bowl MVPs. Yes, Tom Brady does countless incredible things. I am aware. However, here's ultimately where I go Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has not fired a coordinator in 16 years. The whole time he's been there, just about 16 years. He's changed offensive defensive coordinator 8 separate times. He's run without an offensive defensive coordinator 3 times with one or the other. I just don't see how his brilliance. I understand that Tom Brady is the performer. He's the one on the field.
X's and O's, Jimmy's and Joe's, right?
Right, but I don't think Tom Brady is Tom Brady without Bill Belichick.
You mentioned the years they won the Super Bowl and they always had the great defense. They did. But only in one of those years did the defense outrank the offense.
I didn't say that. I said they needed a defense that was decent or
better. But what I'm saying is, based on rankings, the offense was still the leader of the team. So you're right, though, about the defense. You're very right. And if, I said you mentioned if Tom Brady's not there, it's the success thing. And you're right. And I said, but it's true but you got to think of it as Belichick too. Tom Brady in the playoffs has 11 come from behind wins, 11 wins in the fourth quarter or later.
Do you think that doesn't speak to Bill Belichick?
Not necessarily. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's not all his doing for that. Brady is the one out there doing that. Without Brady leading his team, and like I said, being able to infect the rest of the team with that same will and fight to win. That's one thing that him and Bill are very, very similar at. And that's why this debate's so hard, because when it comes to the game of football, they're so similar.
Yeah.
They both think about the game in the exact same way that, we're never out of this. This is us. Each component is equal. They're just as good as us. They can beat us, yada, 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 all that. But without Brady on there, the Patriots, okay, so if Brady's not their quarterback, but they're still in those, say Brady's not their quarterback, but they're still having this success. They're still getting to these games. But do they still have, how many of those 11 come from behind playoff wins do you think they have without Tom Brady? Say they're still in the game. I know this is a terrible hypothetical question.
Well, here's my rebuttal to that. If you ask me, if you remove one part of the equation, which situation that you have left over is more successful? Are the Patriots more successful with Tom Brady and without Bill Belichick? Are they more successful with Bill Belichick and without Tom Brady? Every time I'm saying with Bill Belichick and without Tom Brady.
Okay. Well, look, I'm not going to say they wouldn't be successful. I'm telling you.
I'm saying they would be more successful.
It is Brady. He's just, let's see, what is it? They
have 209 wins combined, which is 30 better than any other team in that time span.
Yep.
I understand. They're a duo that is unmatched.
And will never be matched. But you look at just what Brady has done in his career from a statistical standpoint, you're not going to have that anywhere else. He is as much a part of this dynasty, if not more, than Belichick. And I think it's more. I think Bill is the greatest coach in the world. I think he's done so much. He got Brady there, but at the same time, he's taking a chance on that. He didn't know. He's not psychic. He doesn't know this is going to happen.
Tom Brady didn't know it was going to happen either.
I know, but for Brady to continually do what he's doing at 40 years old, there is no end in sight to this.
There is an end in sight. It's inevitable. 5 years or so. It's going to be.
Think about what you just said.
Fine, I'm away.
The man's going to be 45 and could have 8 rings by that time. We don't know.
I'm just saying.
So he is, to me, the biggest part of the dynasty, because without him, there is no dynasty. There is no dynasty. Belichick does not do this with any other quarterback. Without Brady, there is no championship.
But Tom Brady doesn't do this with any other coach. That's the point I'm trying to get to. No.
So,
period.
Is there a clear winner then? Is there? Can anyone definitively ever say?
Well, no, and that's the thing with these debates, these hypotheticals. And I understand. I want to thank you for going try for try with me, but you're wrong. You're wrong, and that's Brady. That's the sad truth.
It's just not.
It's Bill Belichick. You can't argue it. That's good for me. So it is now time for the fun part of the Super Bowl, because in the end, who really cares about the Patriots? It is time to talk about the prop bets. Boy, do I love a prop bet.
I can name 4 states that care about the Patriots, and that's it.
That's it.
That's
the rest of the country doesn't want to know. Do you like
the other 46 are just like, go Eagles, fly Eagles, fly.
Do you like prop bets?
I love prop bets. some of them are quite comical sometimes.
Yeah. And what I wanted to do here as we enter our final five is I want to go through some of them and I want us to kind of pick, and then we'll see next week how we did.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
I think that's what we'll do.
Perfect.
Let's start with this is the most obvious one a lot of the time, and that's the length of the national anthem. Pink is performing this year.
I saw that. That surprised me.
Yeah,
actually, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. She's good. I feel like Pink is not anyone's favorite.
I agree.
But every time you see her, you're like, man, she's talented.
I don't think she ever has.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's kind of always been that mid-level.
Right. Like I like her. Like she's got all the talent in the world.
Oh, she's great.
But the over, she flies a lot. But the over or under for that is 2 minutes even, 120 seconds. What you got?
How long is the actual song?
Well, I mean, it depends on the
variation. No, but I mean, like, there's that set thing. Like, that's what I'm looking. I'm looking to see like
a minute 58
is like the set.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said 2 minutes was
2 minutes.
Over under? Is there
over under 2 minutes?
Oh, I'm gonna go over. I mean, it's gonna if the original song's a minute 58 and it's a 2 minute thing, I mean, it's gonna be over, huh? I mean,
I'm going under.
You're gonna go under.
I'm gonna go a minute 57.
She's just gonna speed through it.
She's not one for drama. She's just gonna do it, and she's gonna sound good, and it's gonna be the end of it, and it's gonna be good, and it's gonna be under, and I'm gonna win round one.
Didn't Lady Gaga do it last year?
No, she's halftime.
Halftime. Who did the national anthem last year? Look, obviously they suck because it's very forgettable.
Okay, now there's a couple of other good ones. Bill Belichick, does he wear a hoodie?
I mean, come on.
The answer is clearly yes.
Yeah, of course.
I think. But ultimately, here's the part of it. What color? Is it going to be red, blue, or gray?
He normally wears gray when they wear white, so I'm going to go gray.
I'm going to go blue.
Okay.
I just feel it. I feel like Bill Belichick, since he is the biggest part of the dynasty, I think he's going to wear blue.
What do you think the internet would do if he came out in like a polo on Sunday?
I'm expecting a suit. Three-piece suit.
Oh, like they used to do the old day. Oh, yeah. Dude.
The watch.
He would have a pocket watch.
He would have a pocket watch. Why would he not?
Bill would have a pocket watch.
Okay, here's a good one. The PGA Tour is doing the Waste Management Open. It's one of the best. 17 holes.
It's going to get loud.
It's best.
Oh, it's going to get loud.
Did I say the 17?
It's 16.
It's the 16. The important part, though, is that one of the prop bets is which number is going to be bigger, Jordan Spieth's final round score or the number of rush yards from Jay Ajayi.
Okay, I have a question there. Say Spieth misses the cut.
Then no action.
No action? They don't take his last score?
No action.
Okay. Well, we're going to assume Jordan Spieth's going to make the cut because he's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get real statistical on this one. Par at Scottsdale is 72.
Yeah.
So I don't really think Spieth would shoot anything higher than a 77 there. And if he does that,
I doubt very seriously that would happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that'd be his if he's going to go over, I think he'd go 5 over, and that's about it. Now, if he goes low, I mean, he could go anywhere to 65.
Right.
I think he'd probably be somewhere in between 69 and 73.
Okay. Does Ajayi have more rushing yards than that?
Well, let's go next level here. Why don't we?
Next level stats brought to you by
Next level stats.
Matt Musso.
Yeah. New England gives up an average of 83 yards rushing on the ground. They held Leonard Fournette to 74 last week, I think.
Yeah.
I think they hold Jay Ajayi to something similar. I do think he gets higher than
I think he goes
golf score there.
I think he goes higher as well. Throughout the whole season, the Patriots defense ranked 20th in the league, giving up 114 yards a game. Oh. And I think the only reason why he wouldn't, I think, Jay Ajayi have more yards is if LeGarrette Blount obviously gets more.
Yeah.
I mean, gets a larger share of the load. But go ahead and give me
how do you think he's going to get the ball against his whole team? You think they're going to try to feed him and just be like, go for it, big fella?
I think it's
trauma.
I think it'll be fun. LeGarrette Blount, that'll be a lot of fun there. But yeah, I think we both go higher.
I think that's the safe.
Okay, I've got a couple of more for you really quickly. One of them is how often, over and under 1.5, how often is the temperature mentioned in Minnesota, despite the fact that the game is played indoors?
Who's calling? It's
Al Michaels and Chris
Collinsworth. Oh, yeah. Here's a guy. Over 1.5?
1.5.
How do you half?
The temperature outside is...
And they just go to commercial. They just go to commercial. Yeah.
Or they just show a graphic. Maybe that counts.
Yeah, okay, maybe. I'll go over. I think they get it in there at least twice. Once at the beginning of the game, and And maybe if one of the offenses is stalling, the offense is colder than it is outside this dome that we're in because we have to worry about that so much.
I'm going to go over as well. I think they're going to mention it at least twice because it makes no sense at all to mention it. Last one for you, really quickly. Typically, when you win a big game, you get a good old Gatorade bath.
Yeah.
Now you can bet on it. What color is the liquid going to be?
I mean,
that the winning coach gets paid with.
Well, it's either going to be red or I don't know if the Eagles really have green. I don't know if they would. I would think New England's going to have red if they win.
Red Gator.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I look at the Philadelphia Eagles and I look at the guys on that team and I'm just like, those are guys who enjoy blue Gatorade. So I'm going to go blue for them.
But you can only pick one. No matter what the team is that wins.
That gives away my pick. I can't do that.
Okay, well, I'm going with clear because it's going to be water.
It's just going to be water.
It's going to be
That's
water.
Not the question. Oh,
no,
it is. It says liquid.
It
says liquid.
It's what color liquid? I'm going clear. I'm going water. It's a safe bet.
That's dumb.
Good bet.
That's stupid.
No,
that's stupid. Okay, you know what? How about this? It's gonna be a nice amber color. So they're gonna dump beer on there. No, it's dumb.
No. We're not talking about what you would want on you if you were a head coach. We're talking about these two head coaches. Anyway.
Maybe if I was to ever win a Super Bowl, like you or somebody else could just drive a Budweiser truck in there like Steve Austin and just wash down the whole team. That'd be awesome.
I would actually, if you were in a Super Bowl, I would give the 80,000 people that were there each an individual sign. And when you flipped it all over at one time, they just said dilly dilly.
There you go. Hey, dilly dilly.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, that's one of the prop bets.
Yeah, it is.
Over under 12.5 times.
Oh, it's definitely. It's going to be over. It's totally be over. Especially at the Super Bowl party I'm at. It's going to be over, and we're just all going to be yelling dilly dilly all the time. So,
okay, let's get down to brass tacks.
Here we go.
It is time for our pick. Super Bowl 52, the 4.5-point favorite New England Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
You know, man, look, this is a somber moment. This is the end of football season.
It is, which is super sad. Until 2020 when we have the XFL in the spring. Come on. No need for tears.
Yeah, well, until that might fold after a year again. But anyway, it's the end of football season. It's the last game. It's the big game.
It is. Justin Timberlake at halftime.
It's not a good game.
It's not a bad
game. It's the game.
Got it.
Here we go. Okay. You said the spread 4.5, right?
4.5 over and under 48 points.
I think I was talking earlier about can Foles make the plays?
Yes.
This game could go one of two ways. Really on either side. It could just be a complete back and forth shootout. Or it's just going to be a defensive stall. I don't think either team is capable of blowing out the other. I think they're too evenly matched. So either they shoot out or it's a defensive juggernaut. I'm going more for the defensive side of this. I think I respect Philadelphia's defense a lot, and I think they're very good. And if they can get pressure on Tom Brady, which is not an easy thing to do, but if they can do that, you can disrupt him. He doesn't really like the pressure. I don't really know of a quarterback that does, but Brady really, that's documented. He doesn't really like to be under duress. Gronk has not been officially cleared in this game. He said yesterday that he's playing. Gronk is going to play in this football game. He is going to play in this game.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there that he technically has not been officially cleared, but he will play.
Yes.
Can Nick Foles make the plays late in the game? Because Brady is going to make the plays late in the game. When I had to come down and make a pick on this, it came down to one thing. Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia have had 2 weeks to prepare for Nick Foles. And I know that the Eagles and Schumer have had 2 weeks to prepare for Tom Brady. It's just not the same thing. It's just not. Because Brady's the biggest part of their dynasty.
That's
and it's just so hard to prepare for.
Even though you just gave credit, it's fine.
And Matt Patricia, thank you very much. And his beard. I'm gonna take the Patriots, 28-20.
28-20.
28-20. They cover. I'll take the -4.5. They cover. They went outright, 28-20.
Interesting.
For number 6.
Interesting.
And the United States of America is just gonna be so pissed.
Well, that's a good thing. Interesting. It was good analysis. I understand the Brady pick. I understand the Patriots pick. I got it. I don't think it's going to be a defensive type of ball game. I just think the Patriots defense is not as strong as it has been in years past. And I think that the Eagles defense does not necessarily have the experience it's going to be tough for them to keep Tom Brady down. So I will say that I have a very exact prediction. Very precise, very specific in terms of what I expect.
Oh, you're going to throw an odd number out at me, aren't you?
Yeah.
NFL odd number scores.
It's going to be a back and forth game. It's going to.
So you're going with the shootout.
It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a good one. They will go well over the over under of 48. And here's how the game ends.
Okay.
Nick Foles makes the play. He puts the Philadelphia Eagles up because of a missed extra point, up 36-35. With 44 seconds to go.
Oh, we all know how this is about to finish.
Tom Brady puts the team down the field. They kick a field goal, and the Patriots win 38-36 in what will be a Super Bowl for the ages.
It's just we know how this is going to turn out, and it's not anything against. They're going to win. I mean, it's kind of like Bama. Until they lose, I'm just not going to pick against them ever.
That I agree.
I mean, you just have to.
Yeah. No, I understand. I get it.
I mean, like I said, America's going to just cry, tears.
Well, Sunday.
But that's what Bill Belichick's here for: is to put tears in the eyes of children and win football games and championships.
Apparently so.
That's what he.
In a hoodie, no doubt.
Yeah,
that will be
exactly.
That will be blue. It'll be a blue hoodie.
I think he also likes to put tears in the eyes of the media. But.
Well, Super Bowl Sunday, this Sunday, 5:30 Central Time in Minnesota. It's supposed to be 6 degrees outside.
Yeah, that's one.
In case that's relevant. 6 degrees outside there.
We couldn't have it in the dome, climate control. I mean, like,
we'll see.
What if they lowered it to 6 degrees?
I think they should.
They should, right?
We hope you enjoy the game. We know
I will enjoy the game.
It's Matt remembers it.
I will remember it. I have class the next day, so I will.
But feel free, of course, to follow us on our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter at The Weekly DVR. Follow us personally on Twitter at Spenser Hunt.
Just be prepared to put up with a lot of obnoxious Patriots tweets from me.
So maybe wait until after, maybe wait a week or so to follow Matt. But we appreciate you joining us here on The Weekly Beat, and we'll catch you next week when the beat goes on.